Welcome to our first lecture in physical geography, the 5 themes of geography. I hope you enjoyed this course and I hope you enjoy this lecture. So let's dive right in. So today we're going to be diving into the fascinating world of geography. Our topic is an introduction to the 5 themes of geography. And these themes provide us a framework for understanding the spatial relationships and interactions that shape our world. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, fantastic. Okay, so what is geography? So, what exactly is geography? Let me get to the next slide. Oops, sorry. There we go. So, what exactly is geography? The term itself comes from a Greek word that means writing about or describing the earth. In essence, geography is the study of people, places, and things, where they are located and how they relate to each other. About 2,000 years ago, geography was primarily concerned with describing the earth. But in this about the 1600s, with the growth of exploration, interest in geography expanded. Now, geography encompasses a wide range of elements, which can be broadly categorized as either physical or cultural. Physical geography includes things like rocks, landforms, soil, flora, fauna, climate, and water, and much more. Cultural geography examines elements such as population, religion, economic activities, settlement, patterns, political systems, traditions, recreation, and again, much more. So, physical geography is really everything we see in the natural environment when we go outside. Cultural geography is anything created by humans, typically. Okay, so let's talk about the geographic process. Now, the geographic processes are forces that shape our world. And this slide shows examples of the variety of landforms, climates, and conditions that are subject to the geographic study, including a mountain range, a waterfall, a canyon, and also a dust storm. Now, getting to the heart of this lecture, the 5 themes of geography, and these are in no particular order: location, place, human environment interaction, movement, and region. Now, each of these themes provides a unique lens through which to understand the geographic phenomenon. First up is location. So, location can be understood in 2 ways: absolute location and relative location. Absolute location refers to the exact position of a place on the globe, and this usually is determined using a grid system expressed in degrees, minutes, and seconds, using latitude and longitude coordinates. And we are going to dive into this in depth in chapter 1. Now, latitude measures the north and south, with 0 degrees latitude representing the equator. And these lines are also called parallels because they are parallel to one another. Longitude measures east and west, also called meridians, which with 0 degrees longitude representing the prime meridian, which is roughly at Greenwich, England. Okay, and we're going to study more about this in chapter 1. So just going over this briefly. Now, the next step is location. So when is absolute location important? Well, to consider situations such as launching missiles, where precise location coordinates are essential to hit a military target and not hit civilian lives. So it's crucial also in scientific studies. Let's say we are monitoring a species in the rainforest for its diversity over time. And it would be very important to measure and examine that same plot of land year after year, for example. We would need to know the exact and absolute location, okay? So, also talking about relative location. Relative location describes where a place is in relation to another place. For example, if you were going to be meeting your friend, you would not give your friend necessarily the exact latitude and longitude of where you would meet, unless you were a geography nerd. But if you wanted to meet your friend, you would say, let's meet next to the Eiffel Tower or next to Notre Dame. Okay. Or so relative location is discussing where a place is in relation to another place. For example, Orange County is north of San Diego and east of the Pacific Ocean. Okay. Okay, so our fifth theme of geography is place, which focuses on the unique characteristic of a location. Place is defined both by its physical characteristics, such as landforms, vegetation, climate, as well as its human characteristic, including language, religion, music, food, population, urban growth, political systems. So, a location's place can be described by things like architectural styles or farming techniques, or even local examples like wineries. So that is the place, okay? Now, these photos illustrate physical characteristics of a place. Now, we see cityscapes such as Cartagena, Colombia, versus Hong Kong, also in contrast to Lake Tahoe. And you can see that each of these places has a unique geography. And here is an example of a human characteristic of place. The image here of the rice fields in Bali, Indonesia, highlight how human activities and cultural contributions they contribute to the overall character of a place. And in these images also they also illustrate both the human and physical characteristics of a place. So we see a busy street in Paris, France, and a sunset ritual in Bali, Indonesia. And these images really represent both the natural and the human elements that create a unique sense of a place. Okay, so our third um, theme is human environment interaction. So humans have dramatically changed their environment, and we modify the environment through building construction, creating freeways, causing air pollution, and through agriculture, and many, many other examples. So let's take a look at the human environment interaction. Now, this is just one quick example. So, what kind of impact do you think humans have had on the beach environment shown in this photo? This image illustrates how humans interact with and modify their surroundings in ways that we may observe or ways that may be obvious or quite subtle. So, for example, in this image here, we have what was a natural beach, but we have a jetty here, which has allowed for the accumulation of sand and created a much larger beach rather than letting it erode away. We also have included a swimming pool here on the beach. So humans have greatly impacted the natural environment. And this is just one quick example. You look outside and you'll probably see a lot more continuously. All right, so the next step is we have movement. Now, this theme explores how people, goods, ideas move between places. These movements are facilitated through freeways, traffic, buses, airports, also the internet, boats, and many other modes of transportation that movement has taken place. So these images provide examples of the different ways that people move and interact with each other in different locations. For example, a boat tour on a river and a bus moving through a town or city, the traffic along a coastal highway. So we have Hong Kong, China again, and we have lots of transportation happening through and around the city. In Rome, we have a lot of traffic happening and people directing traffic and just buzzing through. Okay. So we have a lot of movement happening. Here we have the movement of people along Pacific Coast Highway, and this is located in Torrey Pines, San Diego. So we have the movement here and the movement of the ocean happening as well. All right, our final example, our final theme of geography is regions. A region is defined as a group of places that with at least one common characteristic. So regions can be formal, like a state or a city, where you can draw a definite boundary around them. Regions can also be functional, which is defined as a central place and a surrounding area that is impacted or affected by it. Examples of a functional region include areas where corn grows, or the coastal regions, or a wine region, or wine country. Okay, so some examples of regions, specific examples. What formal regions might Huntington Beach be part of? Well, it's part of Orange County. The state, because in Orange County, we can draw a line around where the boundaries of Orange County are. The state of California is also a formal region, and it's within the Northern Hemisphere. These are all formal regions where we have definitive boundaries. Then what type of functional regions might Huntington Beach belong to? Well, it's part of the beach community. And it's part of Southern California, which don't have definitive boundaries that one can draw a line around. They're more general and also can change depending on who is discussing them. They can change by opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this brief introduction to the 5 themes of geography. That concludes our little lecture here. And I hope it's given you a valuable framework for understanding the world around us and as we move through this physical geography course.